microdosing acid in your new electric car. You're microdosing acid, you're just picking at the star.
Before we begin, we'd like to say that in our opinion it is not suitable for children or for those of you who may have a nervous disposition.
Go get the belt.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the final TRIGGERnometry Raw of the week. How are you all?
I'm doing very well. It's good.
I was talking to them, mate.
Yeah, it doesn't matter about them.
Look at the camera. Look at them.
No, I'm doing it here. Listen, we've got new fresh trim. The birds are going wild. What do you think about what Anton's done to our lids? Do you reckon he's done a good job?
Yeah, he's done a great job. Francis, by the way, before I forget, before we get into all the PayPals and the super chats and everything else, Anton, we have some exclusive footage from last night of Dino Pancetta in action.
Let's see.
Let's find out what Dino got up to.
Let's see what Dino Pancetta got up to.
Dino Pancetta, look at him. Look at him. There he is.
What's that? That is incredible. That looks like a CGI thing.
It's
what
you, mate.
What do you mean it's me?
It is you. This is what you like. You take and you eat, and then you stretch your arms out like, what, give me more, and then you eat more, and then you do the little puss eyes. That's basically you, mate.
He's a great, what is he?
I don't know, some kind of monkey.
Is he a monkey? Is he an ape? Whatever he is, he's a bloody legend. Welcome on, welcome all. We've got a great show for you tonight. There's loads to talk about. What we're going to do is just like the BBC, we're going to have wall-to-wall coverage of Prince Philip.
Absolutely. And how dare the BBC, how dare they actually cover the death of a major member of the British royal family? How dare the British Broadcasting Corporation? I mean, disgusting, wasn't it, Francis? Well, they actually covered it.
Well, actually, I don't know because I don't have the BBC. I refuse to pay for it.
Anyway, everyone on Twitter is very upset that the BBC covered the death of a major member of the royal family. Unbelievable.
He was the king.
He wasn't very woke. See, this is the problem. He was not woke, right? And therefore, how dare they? If this was Prince Harry, they would have. Twitter would have been happy.
To be fair, Prince Harry's a young man, and in his defence, Prince Philip was a Duke of Banter.
It was the Duke of Banter. He was a great man. I suggested on Twitter that, given that he wasn't very woke, maybe he should be forced to do unconscious bias training posthumously.
I think that's probably the best thing to do. Yeah. Because let's be fair, we've cancelled living people. We've now started cancelling dead people. Yeah. I think
dead lives matter.
Dead lives matter, right? We cancelled Philip Roth, or we talked about cancelling him because he was a bit of a shit by all accounts. What we need to do is educate the dead. I think we need to dig up Hitler and explain to him why he's wrong. Get him. Just imagine if Hitler was around now and could attend anti-bias training. Yeah. Imagine how less racist he'd be.
Exactly. He'd be a lot less racist.
Oh, he'd be incredible. Yeah. He'd be woke.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Hitler.
Woke Hitler. He'd be there. Well, number one, he's already part of the way to being woke, right? Yeah. Because he believes in identity politics.
And doesn't like Jews.
Yeah.
So those two things work very well together.
Absolutely. Vegetarian. Yeah. I mean, he's already practically a member of the Labour Party.
Yeah, exactly.
So, good. Yeah. Hitler's, he would, and to be fair to him.
Here's to woke Adolf.
Yeah, woke Adolf.
There you go.
And also as well.
Great lad.
Let's be fair, probably would have made a better leader of the Labour Party than Keir Starmer.
Well, certainly more organised. He could sort it out. We were just talking on a podcast yesterday about the need for strong leadership in the Labour Party. I think woke Adolf would be the perfect candidate.
Yeah, he would. Woke Adolf. I mean, that'd make a hell of a sketch, wouldn't it?
And if you're tuning in for the first time, this is how it always is.
This is how it always is. You know, I nearly said half the way through, in the spirit of irony, Hitler, now that was a great man. But... But I realise
it's amazing what you can get away with when you're sitting next to a Jew.
Yeah, exactly. There's like everyone, ups and downs, lefts and rights. But I realise that there are unfortunately people on the internet who couldn't understand irony.
Yeah, we discovered this to our great dismay a couple of days ago. We did a little mini irony training course on TRIGGERnometry Raw last night. If you missed it, it's towards the end. Make sure you go and you find out that when we put the gammon cam on and start screaming obscenities and saying random shit, we don't actually mean it. So anyway, welcome to the show. It's great to have you all here. We have a cracking show. YouTube continues to take all the likes away from our Trigonometry Raw shows. We don't know why. It's definitely not because, you know, we're not woke. I'm sure it's nothing to do with that. Absolutely nothing to do with that whatsoever. So please remember the usual rules apply. If we get to 800 upvotes by 8 p.m., we'll continue for another half an hour. If not, we'll wrap up the stream. So if you're here now, smash the like button before YouTube takes the likes away.
Absolutely. And also what you need to do as well is, I don't know, just hit the like button. And then when YouTube takes it off, just hit it again. Smash it again for the second time.
Double smash the like button.
Double smash the like button. Donnell Jones with a $10. FF, I have a dog. You crack me up. You mean kids today can't pass quantum physics? What's wrong with education them these days? KK, Michael Malice, you can do Russian with subtitles.
Yeah, Michael Malice is someone that a lot of people have recommended. He's definitely on our list. Thanks, Donnell Jones. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Donnell. Hey, guys, this is from Melvin's Fanatic. You should have YouTuber Alex Belfield on the show. He's been exposing corruption in the BBC. Also, comedian, not Kate Smurthwaite, not liking you both. He's a ringing endorsement. Horrible woman and a dreadful comedian.
Actually, I have gigged with, unfortunately, I've had the traumatic experience of gigging with Kate Smurthwaite a number of times. In my experience, her sets always go the same way. She does some shit jokes, people don't like them, and then she picks on a male member of the audience and pretends that he heckled her, and then starts patronizing him, and then just creating a really unpleasant environment. I go on after that and smash it.
I never gigged with Kate Smurthwaite because I only did good gigs. But anyway.
Destroyed me and Smurthwaite with facts and logic in one statement. I think you deserve a little round of applause for that, Francis. Well done.
There you go. Dustin Guiver, FF Rock in the 1930s, Berlin bunker. Look, let's get it on the gammon can.
I accept your unconditional surrender.
Yeah. There you go.
There you go. Adil Fiddler, great name. So close to something completely different.
Yeah.
Top trim FF, I approve.
Thank you very much.
From a man called Adil Fiddler. Sounds like something very different.
Yeah.
Approving of your look. I mean, it's a problem.
Maybe Adil Ray. No, not going to finish that. Anyway, Big Bowser, put a 10 on the bleeder, didn't I? Great to see. First female jockey winner. She smashed it. Either of you put on a cheeky bet?
No, we're not from Liverpool, mate. Come on. Anton did actually put a bet.
You did?
Anton, you haven't got a microphone today, but Far Class, and they needed to come in the top 4 for Anton to win money. Came fifth. There you go, Anton. This is what happens when you don't bet on the bleeder. Always bet on the bleeder.
Always bet on the women.
Yeah.
Vaccine or volcano. What's that about?
I have no idea what this is about, Shorty Short, but thank you for the £2.
I joined the locals community just over a week ago. I'm utterly horrified by the vast majority of the individuals on there. If not all of them, #don't. Thanks, William.
Yeah, I think he's just talking about us there. He's horrified by us. Locals is fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Locals is hilarious. Anton, actually, we have a little footage from Locals made by the one, the only Bloody Skies. It's a little shot of another image of Dino Pancetta. A great man and somebody who will live long in our history. Let's see. There we go. Falling down, fans rejoice. FF is about to go postal.
Yeah.
There you go. I don't want to be your buddy, Rick. I just want a little breakfast. Go on, say it in the Dino Pancetta voice.
I don't want to be your buddy, Rick. I just want a little breakfast.
Now, think how much better Falling Down would have been in that accent.
Yeah.
If it's just a man from South London trying to get a burger and chips on the way home.
Exactly. And they fuck it up for the 8th time, and I've had enough. Great man. Great film. Don Graham. I'm about to... Anyway, apologies to one of you.
Apologies accepted.
Oh, mate.
It's blatantly me, mate.
Yeah. Next.
It's blatantly me.
Have you thought about advertising for Just for Men hair dye? The kickbacks would be the icing on the top of the old cake. Well, yeah.
I'm not grey. It's you, mate.
Yeah,
I'm talking
I know.
to you.
No.
I just don't have hair. I don't have enough hair to be grey. Whereas you've got loads of hair and it's all grey.
I know, mate. I could just... But the problem is...
How old are you going to be again?
Shut up. Just shut up. It's literally about 2.5 weeks away, and I'm not coping. I'm not dealing well with it, right? It's,
It's
not.
not 2.5 weeks. Your birthday's in May,
Yeah,
but that's not.
it's the 1st of May, my birthday.
Yeah, I know, but you're not. You're going to be 39.
Yeah, and I'm not coping. I'm still in my 30s,
Yeah,
right?
not really.
Yeah, I'm in my 30s.
Mate, when you're 39, you're not in your 30s.
Well, it's 39. Therefore, I'm in my 30s.
But you're not, though, are you? You're just old.
It's just getting all very upsetting.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Right. I'm still young.
Look, I'm not. It's not personal to you.
Yeah.
Right. There are lots of people out there who are also 39, and
No, and they're in the prime of their life.
Mm.
Intellectually, physically, sexually. They are in the prime. Right? I'm in my prime. Don't deny it.
All right. Shall we talk? Well, let's catch up on the super chats
Yeah.
first, and then we've got and then we also have a PayPal, and then we've got some brilliant things to talk
Cheers to the Duke of Banter, but seriously, a man who did much good to the world, did much good in the world. R.I.P. Prince P.
The more I've read about him, the more I think he was a top guy, top lad. Eloise has sent us a 10 and no comment. Thank you for that, Eloise.
Yep. Let's get this trending with Twitter.
What's impfung?
I don't know, mate.
Okay.
But it sounds dodgy.
It does sound dodgy.
Next. Charlie Westbrook. Hey, bigots, what is it with these woke warriors that think a black person when they hear the word
gorilla?
Don't know.
I take this point, actually, because there's often situations where somebody makes a comparison with like an ape or something, and people immediately assume that it's a racist connotation because they're fucking obsessed with it, right? Whereas most people don't think like that.
No. Next.
Thanks, Charlie. I knew what you meant. Francis is just a bigot.
Yeah.
All right, there we are. So, Francis,
yeah.
let's talk about the tribe that is trigonometry fans.
Yeah.
It's the first story on our list, Anton. Let's talk about trigonometry fans and the cult that we've started on this channel.
Let's see. Island cult is denied a visit from its god, Prince Philip.
He never came to the island of trigonometry, even though he is a cult hero.
10,000 miles away, someone will have to break the news to the village of Yunanan.
That's what we call trigonometry towers.
Yunanan, that the second coming is not going to happen.
Poon Poon has heard that line before.
Yeah, she has many a time. Anyway, they're in the tiny community on the South Pacific island of Tanna, part of Vanuatu. Villagers have for decades revered the Duke of Edinburgh as the son of a local mountain god who would one day return. People would pray to the Duke daily, asking for his blessing on the banana and yam crops. If he comes one day, the people will not be poor, there will be no sickness, no debt, and the garden will grow very well. Jack Mallier, the village chief, said in 2017.
There we go.
There we go.
That's us, blacking up there.
Yeah, lovely. Exactly how the Prince Philip movement started is shrouded in obscurity. According to some experts, he became a deity in the 1960s when Vanuatu was an Anglo-French colony known as the New Hebrides, and villagers would gaze upon portraits of the Queen and Philip in government offices. Another version says the cult has its roots in a 1974 visit to the New Hebrides by the Queen and Philip, known there as Man Belong Mrs. Queen, or as it's spelt in Bislama, the local tongue, Man Belong Mrs. Queen.
That's very problematic, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I've just exposed myself as a racist. A warrior from Tanna named Chief Jack Naver, who died in 2009, travelled 150 miles by sea to you can tell it's a slow news day, to the New Hebridean capital, Port Vila, to greet the arrival of the Royal Yacht Britannia. He became convinced that Philip was the incarnation of the son of a volcano spirit who travelled abroad to marry a powerful woman, and one day he would return.
Philip was told of the cult by John Champion, the British resident commissioner, who suggested he send them a portrait of himself. In turn, the villagers sent him a traditional pig-killing club called a Nal Nal. That's what you want, a pig-killing club.
Much to their delight in the 1980s, he sent back a picture of himself at Buckingham Palace holding the club.
You probably used it as well.
Yeah.
just to chase the neighbours.
Yeah, absolutely. Over the years, the villagers kept photos and newspaper clippings related to the Duke in a special shrine. A few years ago, an anthropology graduate called Matthew Bayliss travelled to Tanna to try to get to the bottom of the Phillips cult. He found few answers, but had an entertaining time, including an evening during which they told tall tales of Philip's exploits, how he was variously a captain of a warship, a cowboy, and a great seducer who seduced a white queen.
He did do that. He did seduce a white queen. By the way, he said the Phillips cult. It's not a screwdriver cult, mate. It's a cult of Prince Philip.
I know, but that makes more sense than having a cult.
This is true. By the way, Vanuatu. Do you know how you can tell if you're posh and you went to boarding school?
Why?
If you know where Vanuatu is.
It's a Pacific island. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
but all boarding schools like send a delegation there,
Why?
just like an exchange.
Okay.
You go and meet the natives. Anton, I think we're done with
No.
Vanuatu.
1 second. Look at this.
Oh, something about Bin Laden.
World events were linked to the deeds of their mountain gods. Philip ensured a black man became the leader of the USA, said, and used his magic to help him to find Osama bin Laden.
There you go.
I mean, what a great guy.
What a great guy. A great hero.
There we go. Ip for Matt Fry, vaccine makes free. Thanks, Human Kirk. Let's crack through these old super chattios. Lovely Rob D. Brian Rose looks remarkably young for his age, given his nocturnal exertions. Exactly. But feasting on the blood of innocent virgins keeps you young. So well done, Brian.
Sorry, I missed that. I was reading a PayPal just to catch up. Let's go back to that. Anton, what's this about Brian Rose? His nocturnal exertions.
I said, yeah, he's been drinking the blood of young virgin children. So that's what keeps him young.
Do you remember that training we did with Gary the lawyer?
Yeah.
About defamation?
Yeah. I mean, come on. Imagine getting sued by Brian Rose because we insinuated that he drunk the blood of young virgins. Well, yeah.
What the fuck? I was reading my phone and suddenly you're saying Brian Rose drinks the blood of virgins.
Yeah.
And I'm now responsible for this.
Yes, you are responsible for it. You didn't keep an eye on me. I went off the rails and it's your fault.
Yeah, this is what all you motherfuckers in the chat. Don't be so mean to France. You see what happens? I turn away for 1 second and suddenly I'm in the middle of a defamation suit.
Absolutely. But how do you know that he doesn't?
From Brian Rose.
Yeah, and imagine
the living, breathing, walking cocaine mountain.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because that's not defamation.
That's not defamation. It's just fact.
Yeah. But imagine...
If you're going to go in, you've got to go all the way in, mate.
In my defense, if you found that
Poon told me to say that.
In my defense, if you found out that Brian Rose did drink the blood of young virgin children, you wouldn't be surprised, would you?
No, of course not.
So
you wouldn't.
I win. Next, Nathan Woodward. Awesome show. Keep it up. Thanks for keeping comedy alive while most other professional comedians are acting like pathetic cowards. Can you help us fans by naming other solid pros who are keeping your profession alive? Name some solid pros who are keeping our profession alive.
The comedy profession?
Yeah. It's fucked.
No.
Just us.
It's just us.
Legends.
Well,
as I smack
look, Andrew Doyle.
Yep.
He creating Comedy Unleashed.
Doyley.
His
name is Doyley.
Leo is very funny.
Yeah, Leo's funny.
Leo
Carris.
Leo.
Oh, Leo, he's so Scottish.
Jeff Norcott is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, Jeff. We like a bit of Jeffrey.
We like a bit of Jeff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Simon
Evans.
Simon Evans, terrific. Simon Evans is a fantastic comedian. If you've not seen Simon Evans, he's absolutely brilliant. Put his name into YouTube and look at him on Michael McIntyre's Comedy Roadshow live at the Apollo. Absolutely terrific writer.
Steve Hughes, Nathan. If you haven't seen the Steve Hughes episode on here, what the bloody hell are you waiting for?
Yeah. Also, someone in the chat is suggesting that I should have a taser. Anton, can we get a taser for next stream? Yeah, thanks. Perfect. We're gonna. I'm going to use it. I'm not sure it would get through the pancetta.
Mate. No, mate, the pancetta would protect me. There'd just be some frying. The tension is palpable. Disappointment was unanimous.
Oh, very good pun. Anton, do you like a bit of that?
What's the difference?
The article about Vanuatu, it's like the unanimous...
Anyway.
Okay. Anton doesn't give a shit.
If I overheard someone say Sir Francis Foster, I would automatically assume they were talking about the explorer that first discovered brown birds. A great man, may he rest in peace. Change the world for the better.
Not sure he changed it for the better.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Great work, gents. This is from David Irving. No, Alan David Irving. Right. Great work, gents. Perhaps attacking jealous trolls, though. Closer you get to the target, more flack fire you receive. # Free Society Target.
Yeah, well, look, let's be honest. We're not even getting trolled all that much, to be honest. We're big boys. We can handle it. I like it when people troll me. I just destroy them. There's some lad Bible right on my Twitter today calling me a racist.
Really?
So I just destroyed her.
There you go.
For fact and logic. Speaking of women, smooth segue.
Love it.
It's Laura Smart.
It's Laura bloody Smart.
With a 50 quid.
With a 50 nicker.
So what are we going to get in the chat for
We
Laura?
are going to get some female jockeys in the chat to celebrate the
some
first...
horses.
So the first bird.
Birds do love horses.
Yeah,
don't they?
but birds have always loved horses. We know this. And birds have also, they bloody love horses. And first winner of the Grand National.
Exactly. So let's get some birds, some horses, some jockeys.
Yeah, in the chat. Let's get
chat.
some fences. Let's also get some ambulances in the chat as well.
Yeah, we watched a bit of the Grand National, and basically what it is just people getting on horses, jumping over things and falling over and hurting themselves.
Yeah.
That was it. Very exciting. Anyway, this is a message for you, Francis.
Okay, go on.
I'm going to read it out because I think this is the appropriate reaction. She says, a woman's sexual peak is 35 to 40. A man's is 18 to 21. Sorry, Francis. It doesn't get any better for you unless you transition. You are old.
No, love. Because here's the thing. I am half transitioning. So in the words of one of us, can't remember who it was. Maybe it was you. Maybe it was me.
If it's funny, it was me.
Yeah, when we interviewed Debbie Hayton, I've got the best of both worlds.
Remember
that?
It was actually her that said it.
Okay.
Because that would actually make sense.
Okay.
Oh no. We said you've got the best
of both worlds. Who said it?
One of us. We're both equally bigoted.
Yeah.
The lovely Andrew. Lovely, or maybe the macho. Andrew. He says, FF, I wouldn't worry about the aging. Don't take this the wrong way, as I'm super straight, but you look more attractive than you did 5 years ago. You're smashing it.
Aww.
Yeah, it's true, mate. You do look more attractive because you sit next to me. And Eleanor, the lovely Eleanor, has sent us 50 quid.
Oh,
let's get some more bleeders in the chat. Let's get some bleeders in the chat. Let's get some non-bleeders in the chat. Let's get some horses in the chat. Let's get some bleeding horses in the chat. Yeah?
Yep, let's do all of that.
Let's get more horses in the chat for Eleanor. She says, here's some money for the legal fees. Get FF back with some Irish bombs. You people are unbelievable.
Right, let's crack on. Thank you very much.
Let's catch up before we do more stories. Let's find out what people are saying.
Charlie Westbrook, earlier super chat, David Jason's story about Queen calling a white ambassador a gorilla and the Twitter mob didn't get their facts straight.
Okay. The Twitter mob not getting their facts straight is a big surprise. I agree with you, Charlie. How could that possibly have happened?
Ollie the Owl, thanks for this show, boys. Love FF's haircut. He looks like a Romanian uncle who shouts at a radio and speaks in tongues. Good. That's what I wanted. So I basically, with due respect to your uncle, I look like a Romanian uncle with mental health problems.
That's what you look like, mate.
Good.
Apparently. Yeah.
Good.
So it's good to know they've got gammon in Romania as well.
Yeah. Adam me with a fiver. Thank you, Adam. So what is speaking in tongues? Is it that stuff?
Isn't that when they're like possessed by demons or some shit? Anton, you'd know this.
Come on.
Greeks have got to be all about that. Speaking in tongues?
No.
Yeah, it's like the evangelists in America do it.
Like the evangelists in America do.
Okay. Can we find some footage of that, Anton? Bring it up so I can actually...
Mate, he's busy. Anton, don't worry about it, I think.
Yeah, he's too busy crying over his loss on the Grand National.
There we go.
Icky Ike, I don't know what she's talking about. I'm 37 and I have to clean my sexual peak off the shower ceiling every morning.
You lot disgust me.
Mate, that is a lie. There is no way you're getting it on the shower ceiling.
Yeah, that's 30 age of 37.
No, mate, those days are over, my son.
Mate, you can't blast anyone at this age.
Yeah.
You can drip on someone. That's about it.
Isn't it annoying that when you actually are able to, you get everything in place to be able to attract a lady, your body's too degraded to be able to perform. That's a particularly cruel trick.
Yeah, it's the same with cars. Like a fast sports car looks great for a young man.
Yeah, like for a 23-year-old getting out of a Ferrari,
amazing.
you look like a legend.
Yeah, if you walk out of it like balding and middle aged, you just look like a cunt.
Imagine it'd be funny if you got out of your Lamborghini and then you pulled your hip whilst you did it because you're trying to get out.
Yeah. Oh,
anyway,
don't want to see it.
Don't want to see it.
All right, next.
Let's see.
Someone, Pal Dace says in the chat, life is like a trigger pod. You never know what you're going to get.
It is. It is
right,
very
Anton,
true.
let's have the next one.
The winning horse was a bloke, just saying. Was a bloke a male? Good.
Yeah, but behind every great bloke horse, on top of every great bloke horse,
is a woman beating
tiny woman beating the shit out
of him and whipping him.
Exactly.
Making him go faster. and feel like crap physically if he doesn't do what she wants. Yeah, think about that, feminists. Destroyed with facts and logic again. Foster wins.
On top of every great man sits a tiny woman telling him what to do and beating the shit out of him with the whip.
Yeah, yeah. Owned with facts and logic. Anton, why am I alone?
Why did we have the gammon count on? That wasn't irony. That was legit facts right there.
Yeah.
We're just dropping truth bullets over here.
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
Any chance of a trigonometry Discord? What's a trigonometry Discord?
Discord is like a voice communication server. Guys, if like post something on Locals about it and tell me what is actually the benefits of a Discord, so you can all get in there and spread your bigotry and just repeat our catchphrases. It's literally going to be 20 people on the voice call going, "There's a bomb." Birds love it.
Great.
No, that will be the chat.
Next. What did FF do for a living before trigonometry?
Nothing.
Nothing. I just sat here by myself chatting shit like I do now. Except after lockdown, everybody went mental, so now I have an audience to do it to.
Shall we be honest with the viewing public? Is it fair to say that when we were at school, we were both massive dickheads? Who dossed about, did fuck all work, as little work as we could to get the grades we needed. Yeah. Right? Well, I mean, you didn't get the grade. I actually, I didn't get the grades I should have done either. Yeah. But basically, we sat around trying to think of ways to make ourselves laugh, doing problematic banter and jokes at the back of the class. Would that be fair to say? Yeah.
My friend Adam and I, when we were in school, we worked out what was the minimum amount of work we needed to do so we escaped getting a beating from our parents. And then we did that. We absolutely phoned it in. Do you know what we realized? 72%. Yeah. You got 70% in your tests. Like your parents be like, fine.
Yeah.
You know.
So anyway, and in my case, a friend of mine from school messaged me a couple of months back, and he said his name is Salim, and he said that I convinced our economics teacher that his name was Shalom by chanting that word every time he was picked on to answer a question for 6 months, and eventually the teacher just gave up and started calling him Shalom. Anyway, my point is, we were cunts when we were in school, right? Now, if someone, Anton, well, I'm not done. Yeah. I'm not done. This is just the beginning of this rant, right? Can you imagine if someone had told you back then that you were actually in training for your life's purpose? Yeah. Which is what we do now.
Exactly. It's very true. Have I told on the stream about, I must have told you about the physics teacher on the stream, what we did to him. What David Tidy did to him.
Oh, bummed him.
Yeah.
I think we did talk about it.
Yeah. Well,
anyway, we've had a lifetime of training, guys. We're professionals.
Do you know what? When I once, my mom went to a parents' evening, and she sat down and she went to with my primary school teacher. How's Francis doing? She went, Francis is a very intelligent boy, but he's also incredibly arrogant. My mom agreed with me.
That would have been an accurate description of me as well when I was a kid. But anyway, people are saying Discord, how come KK doesn't know about it as a gamer? No, I do know what Discord is. I don't understand what the purpose of a Discord server would be. To me, Locals is a lot more fun and it's much more interactive. And plus, you're never going to get these two on Discord. Yeah. So, yeah.
There we go. Next. The lady who called you a racist has protected her tweets.
Of course she's done.
Well done.
I never go after little no-name people like that. She retweeted my tweet. She called me a racist because I said the Duke of Edinburgh might have been a little bit problematic because he was born in 1921 and maybe his generation weren't quite as woke as this one. She said that I was a racist. I quote tweeted her because she came at me. Now she's got destroyed. I mean, I think that's fair game.
FF speaking in tongues is one of the reasons Poon Poon has stuck around. Well done, Ali Snyder.
Oh, there we go.
Nice, love it. We demand more bombs. Bombs are not racist.
Bombs are not racist.
The winning horse was a gelding, i.e. bollocks cut off. I mean, look, even...
The metaphor gets deeper and richer every time.
It is. It does indeed.
Behind every great emasculated man stands Meghan...
Behind every...
I nearly said Meghan Murphy, and Meghan Murphy's a lovely lady, and she'd never take anyone's balls. Meghan Markle.
Yeah, behind every great man, there is a woman whipping him, beating him, and had his nuts cut off.
Exactly. Laura Smart says, my son's watching with me. I'm sending all angry teachers to you now.
Yeah, good. Sven, Helga,
Sven,
Helga.
Helga!
Did you guys see that Joe Rogan apparently lied about the number of videos removed by Spotify? I have no reason why I'm doing this accent. It's about 40, not a few. Milo and Mo, Lincoln locals.
It's interesting. Look, whenever you sign a contract of that size with that sort of organization, you know, you're going to end up a little bit of a gelding, I think. You know, you were asking us about our new agent, and you know, this is something we thought about very carefully, about how to make sure that the great stuff we want to create for you guys in terms of live shows, in terms of promoting my book, all sorts of other things that we've got on the horizon, how to make sure that all happens without ever compromising the show. Because you see it with stand-up comedians as well. You know, they get successful, they get a bit older, and suddenly they've got, you know, they're worrying about what other people are saying, what they're going to do, blah, 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 blah. And we're just not going to let that happen. So I'm not surprised to hear that Joe Rogan had to, you know, be a little, look, I don't know what happened, but it wouldn't surprise me if that had happened. Let's put it that way. Is that fair to say?
We
look forward to coming on
your show, Joe. Because we know that you subscribe, and we know that you watch the show. And Joe, I just want to say, if I was you in your position and getting offered $100 million contract, I would do exactly the fucking same. What my principles? No, mate, no, thank you. We'll put these to one side.
We're never going on Rogan after this.
Give me the fucking yes. Give me that money. That's what I'd be like. Give me the money.
Unbelievable. Alex Edge with the £2 says Anton's T skills. Anton's no, it's my T skills that have improved. Anton's always been a top tea maker.
Yes,
that's why we hired him.
Yeah, we went.
He's laughing.
Yeah, and that's how we got his trial, because we went, make a cup of tea, and we did, and he nailed it. So that's why it's in charge.
I think we need to clip that thing about on top of every great man sits a tiny woman.
Yeah. As a senior partner by age of trigonometrist, Sir Francis Foster sounds good. I should be. Services to pegging.
Yes, services to pegging, mate. You're the oldest one here is what they're saying. There we go.
Regarding first story, Philip dies. Same day, volcano goes off. Coincidence? No. Philip dies, then DMX. They couldn't live without each other. It was a love story that united them throughout the ages.
Phil, gonna give it to you.
Insult me, make me
Danny
laugh.
O, thank you for the $25, you cunt.
Yeah, slag.
I actually got a message. While you read this out, I'm gonna find it from an Irish person. It was really funny the other day on Twitter.
Ironic, Philip was called a racist when he fought against the Nazis during World War II.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
But then again, the heart of thinking never let facts get in the way. This is why, whatever you say about people from that generation, look, you know, he may have had the occasional gaffe, he may have said something that was could have been construed as being racist. That generation fought against the Nazis. The sacrifices that they made, we will never understand.
Yeah.
The vast majority of our society and our generation will never understand what it's like to go to war and face down an enemy.
What about me on Twitter?
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah,
I go to war on Twitter every day, battling against.
I mean, to be fair, Kate Smurthwaite is scarier than the Nazis, and at least the Nazis look good in uniform, right? Yeah. But we have no idea of the sacrifices that those people made or the horrors that they faced. So really, we should be internally grateful to that generation.
Agreed. And also, it turns out some of the stuff that he said was actually quoted out of context. For example, do you remember this thing about he said to supposedly he said to a successful Aborigine businessman, "Do you still throw spears at each other?" We read it yesterday.
Yeah.
Turns out they'd been throwing boomerangs, and he was like asking, "Do you also do spears?" kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right. So some of it was misquoted as well. Anyway, I got this lovely message from Connell on Twitter DMs. He says, "Hi, Konstantin. Just got to say, keep doing what you're doing. Really enjoy your podcast and other content. Really funny and articulate cunt." Thanks and keep it up. Love from Belfast.
There you go.
That's the sort of people we've got, you know.
Cool. Next.
What do you mean cool?
Well, you're a cunt. Anyway, next.
That's perfect. Laura's son is watching this.
KK with proper accent saying FF has a truth bomb.
FF has a truth bomb. He's dropped it for the first time ever. Poon Poon inserted it from behind. It came out of his mouth and he dropped it.
Unbelievable.
There
Next. David Mustard, what a name. Do either of you have sympathy for the IRA, given how I mean,
you handle this one, mate.
Yeah.
I'll leave it to you.
Discriminated the nationalists were in Northern
Anyway,
Ireland.
it's been
Plus
a
the
nice-
colonial
it's been a nice
expropriation that existed for so long.
Just tell me when you're done, mate. I'll be back. Go
Thanks, mate. Do I have any sympathy for the IRA? I have never have any sympathy for terrorists. People can be in awful situations facing the most horrific types of oppression. It does not excuse putting bombs in places where it kills innocent people, particularly children, which the IRA have done. So no, I don't have a great deal of sympathy. However, I do have a great deal of sympathy for people in Northern Ireland who have faced trouble and strife and terrorism and effectively civil war for the vast majority of their lives. So I have sympathy with the Northern Irish people. I have sympathy with Catholics. I have no sympathy with terrorists. Now sit down, you cuck.
There we go. Got away with that one.
Yeah.
Hush with a 5 year says, our top floor council flat got raided by the law when Sherga was kidnapped by that, like we were hiding him on the balcony.
Do you know about this?
No.
So Sherga was a very famous racehorse that was kidnapped by the IRA.
Really?
Yeah. And then they never discovered it again. And anyway, everybody went nuts and they went searching for him and trying in order to find this legendary horse. And no one ever found it again.
Mm.
There you go. Next.
Kidnapping a horse.
I've misgendered an effing horse. Yeah, you have, Raven. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Exactly.
We're going to destroy you. Find out what your job is, who your friends are, who your partner is, and then we're just going to ruin everything. And if you don't have a partner, we're going to make sure you get one, then ruin it. That's what you do. That's how you achieve equality. Good. How does Anton make tea? Special tea bag skills. Over to you, son.
Well, Anton, I don't think would brag. He's a gentleman, but we'll have a little. We'll go pop next door. We'll chat to Flopsy and Mopsy. Yeah, and we'll find out. Thanks, Ali.
Lovely.
We will find out. Just checking the PayPals. We've got a PayPal from Bloody Skies. Let's find out
what's he saying? Probably some type of horrendous filth.
Probably. I mean, that's what he's about. That's what they do over there.
Yeah.
In fact, we have one from Kimberly first. She sent us a $5, and she says, I came for the interviews but stayed for the banter. Great service you both are providing for humanity. One request, could you each do a quick impression of a typical American? Thank you. All right, hot dogs.
God bless you, ma'am. Thank you. There you go. Okay.
And one more from Bloody Skies.
Go on.
A terrible American accent, by the way. I can usually do better.
Yeah.
According to Andrea Long Chu, the asshole is a universal vagina through which femininity can always be accessed. So when Poon Poon pegs Francis, he's at his feminine sexual peak.
I am. And I'm at my progressive peak.
We knew it was going to be some kind of filth.
Okay, right. So let's go to. Let's talk about some BLM action.
Oh, yes. Yes, let's find out why capitalism is so great, even the Marxists love it. Look at this. What a great. Black Lives Matter co-founder Patrisse Cullors has purchased a $1.4 million home in a wealthy, secluded area of Los Angeles. Cullors identifies as a communist and advocates for the abolishment of capitalism.
That's it. It's quite fit, actually. Anyway, scroll down.
No, that's it. We can click the story. Anton, let's read a little bit of the story. I wanted the tweet because Andy provided some interesting context, but we'll read the story.
Yeah.
Let's find out why capitalism is evil and must be abolished.
Yeah,
go on.
Let's see. Black Lives co-founder Patrisse Cullors lands Topanga Canyon compound. I mean, this is like a tongue twister. Looks very nice. A secluded mini compound tucked into LA's rustic and semi-remote Topanga Canyon was
recently sold. Okay, Anton, you just pick a size that you're comfortable with, mate.
Yeah, right? I like the fact you keep changing it, so I've got no idea what I'm reading.
Was recently sold for a tad more than $1.4 million to a corporate entity that public records show is controlled by Patrisse Cullors. Corporate entity, it doesn't sound very communist to me. No. The 37-year-old social justice visionary.
I'm a visionary.
Yeah, you are. Have you got a $1.4 million mansion?
How much is this flat worth that I rent for an extraordinary amount of money?
Yeah, you don't really, you haven't visionized yourself into, you haven't fought for social justice enough to own a mansion.
Yeah.
Anyway, the co-founder of the galvanizing and for some controversial Black Lives Matter movement, Khan Colors, a UCLA and USC graduate, married about 5 years ago to a social activist and amateur boxer, Janaya Khan, co-founder of Black Lives Matter Toronto.
Created the hashtag Black Lives Matter hashtag in 2013 in response to George Zimmerman's acquittal in the 2012 shooting of Trayvon Martin. Since then, the largely decentralized movement has been at the influential forefront on issues of police brutality and racially motivated violence against black people, particularly in the wake of George Floyd's killing last summer that sparked massive protests across the United States and around the globe. Khan Colors published When They Call You a Terrorist, a Black Lives Matter memoir in 2018.
A winding 50-minute drive from the Commons at Calabasas and a slightly longer and somewhat less serpentine drive. Okay, we don't need to know exactly where it is. The pint-sized compound. What? It's a fucking massive house. Anyway, spans about 1/4 of an acre. The property is not quite 2,400 square feet. It's divided between the 3-bedroom and 2-bath main house and a separate 1-bed, 1 apartment capable of hosting guests long-term with a private entry and a living room with a kitchenette. Anton, I think this is enough. I remember when my grandparents were telling me about the brilliance of communism. This is the sort of stuff they had, a 3-bedroom house with a little guest house on the side.
Yeah,
that's
in Calabasas.
That's how communism works. Yeah, Marxism is great.
Yeah.
Let's all get some let's get some Marxism in the chat.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is how it works.
Let's get
capitalism is terrible.
Let's get some empty bowls in the chat.
Marxism is brilliant. And by the way, majority white neighborhood, not many peaceful protests happening there, surprisingly. And I wonder why she lives there.
Anyway, next.
Someone says big living rooms matter.
Chatterbox, $20. Check out Connor Barnes. Just read his Quillette piece. Sad Records, a very interesting person. Thank you for making yet another Ontario lockdown more bearable. Bless you, and no worries at all. Happy to be of service.
Chatterbox. Appreciate it.
Bleeders love the new streaming schedule. Thanks, Leo J.
Yes, we will be back on Tuesday. By the way, we'll have no more of me being in the other place. I'll be here, and we'll have no technical issues. So we'll be back, obviously, tomorrow with a brilliant interview, by the way. Ooh.
Mercy me.
Mercy Muroki, one of the commissioners of the government's race and disparity report, is here to talk about it, to defend the commissioners against some of the things that have been said about them, to explain the findings. There's some truth bullets being dropped in that interview like you have never heard.
Yep.
Dear.
It's very good. Thanks, Leo J. The only question is, why are you dressed in school uniform?
Yeah.
Cheers. Francis looks like a keto-friendly Peter Griffin.
Who's Peter Griffin? I don't know what that
is. The fat one from Family Guy.
Well, I knew it was the fat one. I just need to know which one.
Absolute.
Let's find out. We need the picture, mate.
This is horrendous. Peter Griffin, the fattest. What? Do I look like Peter Griffin?
I mean,
talking about?
He's pink, he's fat, and he's a bit of a twat. That even rhymes. Oh, look at that. With the one with the shirt, Anton. This shirt, the white shirt. No, below. Like with a black background. This one. There you go. He looks even more Jewish than you, mate.
Yeah. Unbelievable. I am utterly horrified by this.
Now you know how we feel.
Disgraceful. Well said regarding terrorist groups, no excuses. Thank you very much, Ali Snyder. A1FF, KK for the lead role in The Crying Game 2.
What's The Crying Game?
The Crying Game is a very, very famous film. Northern Ireland. It's about the troubles in Northern Ireland. And there's a very famous scene with a transsexual, I believe.
Oh, have you guys? So I'm the transsexual now. Okay, great. It's usually you, but I've also, you know, I've gone towards it. Anyway, have you guys seen Hunger?
Oh, the Bobby Sands. No,
that is one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Of course it is. Yeah, but you know what? Life's too short, isn't it? I mean,
what do you mean?
Well,
Bobby Sands' life was pretty short.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, but look. Why would you want to watch something so profoundly depressing?
Have you seen it?
No.
How do you know it's depressing?
Well, it's about a hunger strike.
It's actually quite uplifting in some ways.
Is it?
Yeah.
How's it uplifting?
It's about a man standing up for what he believes in. whether you like him or not, that's uplifting in many ways.
Not only for you, mate. Only for a Russian. No, I've not.
You don't think a man who's willing to die for his beliefs, whether you personally agree with them or not, you don't think that is inspirational in some
No.
way? When it's beautifully shot and beautifully presented.
I prefer the story.
Shows the mettle and the courage of the man. You don't think
No,
that's
I
inspiring?
prefer the story of a man who's like, what, these old episodes, fucking give me that $1 million, $100 million contract. That's the story that I aspire to. Hi, KKFNFF. Thanks for your videos. Would you ever consider talking to Adam Curtis? What are your thoughts on his works? Cheers, bigots.
Love his work, and we would love to have him on. We invited him on a long time ago, and he said he's not a fan of doing interviews, but maybe now that he's got a series out, he's actually on my list to reach out to. Jonathan, thank you. I will reach out to him tomorrow.
What if your own family was burned out of their home? Would you still resist picking up arms? Personally, I don't know, but a bit of a moral dilemma.
Yeah, I can certainly envisage circumstances under which I would be willing to fight for what I believe. And I think Robert Hull has nailed it in the chat when he says FF is totally against watching hunger because he's staunchly pro-food.
Exactly. Good.
You would, if anyone made you go hungry, that's when you would take up arms, mate.
Yeah, I'd take up arms. I'd fucking burn every single place down. There's no way anybody's denying me carbohydrates.
Exactly.
Do you get that, Anton?
Thanks, David.
Ryan Barker Hagen, $50. Let's get some jabs in the chat. Let's get some all the types of let's get some AstraZeneca. Let's get some Sputnik 5s. Let's just get it all in the chat. Thank you very much, Ryan. Getting my first jab today. Excited to have things heading towards normal. Thanks for the live streams, y'all. See you guys on the other side.
Thanks very much, Ryan. Let us know what kind of improvement you see in your Wi-Fi after that. Thank you very
absolutely.
much.
And explain to us why it is that Bill Gates is the best provider of software. What did communists use to light their homes before candles? Electricity.
Very good, Lynn. Thank you very much.
Lovely. BLM visionary. She's got a vision for getting rich off race baiting.
It would seem that way.
It's all right, Francis. I look like Meg Griffin myself. Commiserations. Thanks, Nicole.
Who's Meg Griffin?
His wife.
The fat one's wife?
Yeah.
All right.
She's fat as well.
Is she?
Yeah.
Well, she would be, wouldn't she?
Next. KK doesn't know who Peter Griffin is or the Crying Game. FF, educate your friend for fun. I know.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. When my parents were giving me Steppenwolf to read, they should have been making me watch Peter Griffin or The Crying Game. Is that what you call an education?
Yes, it is, mate. It's
when I was reading Dostoevsky,
when were you reading Dostoevsky?
I read one piece. Didn't like it.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of Russian classical literature, believe it or not.
All right. So you didn't read.
I was reading Crime and Punishment, which I have actually read.
Right. That's Tolstoy, mate.
Yeah, I know. Right. I'm saying I was reading Russian classics, and you were watching some fat twat who looks like you.
Yeah,
right?
And that's how I got inspired
that's an education.
To do this. Yeah.
Educate your friend.
Mate, in this country, the only thing we know about Dostoevsky is that he made shit vodka in Aldi.
What?
Anton, type in Dostoevsky vodka. Have you never heard of this?
Adam Walker says, you might want to tell FF that Meg is the daughter, Lewis is the wife. Does FF fancy his own daughter? Thankfully, he doesn't have his own daughter.
No, I don't. Look, this
also, by the way, The Crime and Punishment is not Tolstoy.
Isn't it?
No.
What is it?
Yeah,
look at you. Look, So we got Dostoevsky vodka. Here we go. Bring it up. There we go. Right.
The glazed donut. What have you done to my culture? What the fuck is this shit?
Yeah.
This is unbelievable.
Yeah. There you go. Very, very.
Crime and Punishment is Dostoevsky, by the way.
Yeah, Crime and Punishment. That's what I said.
You said it's Tolstoy.
No, I didn't. No,
it's on camera. We're going to play it back and clip this.
No.
Unbelievable ignoramus.
Yep. Next, moving in first. So she can ensure some of that BLM 10 billion will be put to house black people or escaping gang violence in safe neighborhoods.
I'm sure that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's why she's got 3 bedrooms.
Yeah.
Just to save all the people from the
Yeah.
Why can't I say ghetto?
Yeah.
I meant the hood.
Yeah. Icky Ike. I love Steve McQueen's early movies. Hunger and Shame. Great roles for Fassbender. Great shows.
Hunger is really good movie. We need to watch it.
Yeah.
Anton, are you up for that? Yeah, he is.
All right. Good.
Anton, Anton and I will watch it. You can sit there. And what we'll do, Francis, just to make you comfortable, this is important, right? What we're going to do is we're going to cook a big meal.
Yeah.
Right? We're going to feed you first.
Yeah.
Okay? So you're going to be well fed.
Yeah.
Right? Then we're going to sit you down.
Yeah.
But we're not going to eat all the meal.
Yeah.
We're going to set some of the meal aside, and it'll just be sitting there in front of you so that you like a therapy dog.
Yeah.
So as we're watching Hunger and you're watching a man starve himself to death for a cause, you can just like touch the bowl of food in front of you just to get a little like, you know, comfort.
Sounds good, mate.
Yeah.
Be pudding. Yusuf Baka. Is no one going to mention how KK is basically Stewie Griffin, both in appearance and character?
Is this the Rinse the KKNFF show? Is this what's happening here?
Yeah, get Stewie Griffin. You are a bit like Stewie, actually.
Am I?
Like,
Was he a legend?
No, he's
top
he's
man.
a sinister psychopathic baby.
Psychopathic baby.
Come on, bring it over, Anton. There you go.
How does that look like me?
Yeah, it is.
He's got a round head and actually no hair.
The shade.
That's you.
Welcome to Watch
he's
Mojo, and today we'll be counting
Yeah.
down our picks for the top 10 funniest
Why has he
Stewie
got a little
insults.
gun?
Damn you, vile
Because
woman.
he's like you
You've
and
impeded
not
my work since the
psychopath.
day
Why has he got a
escaped from your wretched
screwdriver?
womb.
For this list, we'll be going over
I mean,
the
I
most
like his
amusing
attitude,
and
but he
or
doesn't look
cutting
like me.
insults delivered by Family Guy's.
There's nothing like me.
Yeah, he is.
No, he's
Just
not.
like you. Next. Meg is a daughter. At least for Peter isn't a pedo. Take heart, FF. Exactly. At least he's not a left-wing comedian. Ever read Goosebumps, KK?
No. It's
No.
one of your boys asking the question. By
Jose
the way.
Hernandez.
Jose
Ever read
Hernandez.
Goosebumps? Anyway. Had Kalashnikov vodka and SPB.
St. Petersburg.
Gun-shaped bottle. Have you ever had that?
No. I mean, most vodka tastes the same. They won't tell you that, but
Yeah.
it does.
Hats off to you lads for your content. Thanks, Philip Morgan.
Thank you, Philip. Appreciate it.
And FF is Brian the dog. Legend. The dog is a legend.
Since we're pulling them all up, Anton, let's get Brian the dog up. Sarah
Brian.
Davies says, how much do I have to super chat so you stop talking about Family Guy?
10 quid.
He does have your facial expression.
There you go. It's a discerning dog. There you go.
Yeah. He's a good dog.
Great dog. Anyway, let's crack on. So,
We've got more stuff. Not knowing 90s animated comedy references, that's a paddling. What does that's a paddling mean? Appalling.
no, you get hit with a paddle.
Okay.
KK is Brian, simple, all from fan of birds.
Sensible, not simple. Simple is you, mate. Sensible.
Yeah.
Author and fan of birds. I'm a big fan of birds.
Is
That's
that it?
That is it. Let's pull up
Okay,
a story.
well,
Go
let's
on,
put
mate.
up a story. Oh, this
Francis
is...
didn't like the fact that I suggested that we'd have a bowl of food in front of him just to keep him comfortable,
Yeah.
did he? What was your issue with it, mate?
Mate, don't know. It would have to
You
be,
just don't
that-
want to watch hunger. You just don't
Yeah,
want to watch
no,
another man suffer.
No, I don't. That to me is hell. Okay, let's talk about a very interesting story. Let's talk about Jean-Marie Le Pen
Oh,
and her potential election and what it means for France and the EU. What a Le Pen win would mean for Brussels. There she is.
so it's not Jean Le Pen, it's Marie Le Pen.
Yeah. A Marine Le Pen victory in a 2 years' time can no longer be ruled out, other than opinion polls regularly pointing to her place in the second round as a certainty. A few, such as Harris Interactive, on 7th of March, put her on the cusp of winning the second round with 47% to Macron's 53%, a dramatic improvement on her 2017 score of 34 to Macron's 66. The traditional Republican front against the radical right is crumbling, and the stigma of voting Le Pen is diminishing. More of the electorate are coming round to the reassemblement national views on national sovereignty, immigration, crime and security, and with Brussels' shambolic management of the pandemic on the EU itself. Whether Marine wins in 2022 or not, the world's leading powers will or should be gaming the scenarios. And the international organisation with the most to lose is the EU. The RN abandoned Frexit after the last presidential race, but the party remains deeply Eurosceptic. It became France's largest party in the 2019 European elections on a manifesto entitled for a Europe of nation and peoples. So what would be the state of relations between Marine Le Pen's France and the EU?
One must preface any Le Pen victory with two remarks. First, a triumph can only be effective if bolstered by a majority in the parliamentary elections that normally follow in June. The number of RN MPs elected will determine how radical the new president's reforms can be. Despite Marine Le Pen gathering nearly 11 million votes in the 2017 presidential race, the two-round June legislatives gave her party a mere 7 deputies. But let's say for practical purposes, the RN gets a clear parliamentary majority. Second, some French civil servants may resign out of principle. The stigma of those who slipped from the Third Republic into Vichy casts a long shadow, no matter how different the scenario. But given the French already operate a semi-spoiled system on changes of governing majority, this will provoke little turmoil, particularly as Marine will wish to discard some mandarins whose views are not compliant.
Relations between a Marine Le Pen France and Brussels will be severely shaken on process and policy. The traditional cosy French relationship with Brussels, fostered by shared educational backgrounds in those Europhile nurseries of the French Mandarin class, Sciences Po and the ENA, will be impaired. The RN will struggle to staff its ministries with like-minded, highly competent civil servants able to counter Brussels' bureaucratic politics, let alone change policies. Doubtless, the new French administration will cry foul and incriminate France's Europhile deep state, but process will also be leadened from the Brussels end. If, as Jacques Delors predicted, 80% of French laws originate in Brussels, Eurocrats will have ample opportunity to grind policy change to a minimum before resorting to the European Court of Justice. A cold war between France and the Berlaymont will make Brexit seem amicable. Then
let me do this.
Yeah.
Then there is the question of how member states will react to this newly led France. EU fault lines will deepen. Marine Le Pen will find support from the likes of Poland, Hungary, Austria, great countries, but considerable opposition from Germany, another great country, and the liberal states. The Franco-German motor of deep integration will seize up. But it is on policy that open warfare will be fought. The RN's 76-page manifesto for the European Alliance of Nations calls for radical overhaul of EU institutions, including the bombshell abolition of the European Commission. Anyway, I think we've heard enough. So there could be a Frexit, or there could be a Marine Le Pen-led government in France. We will see what happens. Do you have any thoughts on Marine Le Pen?
I think I do not know enough about Marine Le Pen, apart from she is on the right. Now, whether she is far right, as some people say, or just right wing, I do not know.
This is the level of analysis you get on trigonometry. The one thing, we don't know a lot, right? But the one thing we can tell you is Marine Le Pen is in fact on the right.
And she's a woman, right?
Yeah.
Which nowadays is not certain. But here's the thing. I think what we're seeing more and more is an uprising with people in their respective countries deeply unsatisfied with the EU, the EU's handling of the coronavirus pandemic, particularly the vaccine situation, has been an utter fiasco. People are very angry. People are very frustrated. People have felt that they haven't been looked after by the EU. They haven't been competent. They haven't dealt with the situation well. Countries like Portugal, Italy, Spain, Greece are suffering as a result of a European Union that is biased in favor of Germany. And if I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know how long it can last.
People are saying in the chat, I'm not saying this, people are saying in the chat that we have 2 minutes to get another 67 likes so we continue the stream. Now, I'm not saying it because apparently if I say it, then YouTube don't like it. But some people are saying in the chat, if you want the stream to continue, then we need to get to 800 likes in the next 2 minutes. So if you agree with the people in the chat, smash that like button. And if you don't. I'm just saying. Just do it.
Just do it. So it's going to be very interesting to see. I think we are going to see another. There's a lot of people who've been saying with the election of Biden that populism is dead. I think that this simply isn't true.
This is something we'll talk about if we continue the stream, because I want to pick up on this point. But in the meantime, Francis, you're getting wrecked in the donations as well. So why don't you read yourself so I don't sound mean reading it?
Hey guys, FF, you remind me of my old drama teacher who got struck off after insisting the students perform the Marcellus Wallace basement scene out of Pulp Fiction on him. Thanks, Filippo. Filippo Berio, who's got the name of an olive oil.
Thanks, Filippo. Appreciate it.
Ridiculous.
So there we are. Francis,
Mm.
we are now on 870 likes. So let's talk about the one thing that is worth talking about.
What's the one thing that's worth talking about that we're not talking about as a society?
As a society, I think we are. But
Yeah.
the one thing that hasn't really been addressed by anybody in the media or on the left nearly enough, in my opinion, and this is something that we've discussed with a couple of our recent guests, including Aaron Mate, who actually agreed with me on this. If there's no pandemic, Donald Trump is president.
Yeah.
Right. So the notion that, you know, all of this is over, it's all going away, blah, 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 seems ridiculously optimistic to me. And if you...
I'd go for delusional.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you look at what the Biden administration has done and continues to do, I don't see how in 2024, and look, clearly a lot can happen between now and then, as we've seen.
Yeah.
I don't see how. I mean, do you think Trump will run again? Nigel Farage said he would on our show.
Well, how old will Trump be in 2024?
Early 80s?
No, mate.
What do you mean? Biden just got elected at the age of 79.
Yeah, but...
And he doesn't remember what color his socks are.
No, he doesn't. But that's not a good thing. No,
I'm not saying it's a good thing.
I don't think the Republicans will allow that to happen.
Do you think they'll sort of want him to act as kingmaker and nominate a successor like Ron DeSantis?
Yeah, and also the thing we're not taking into account is as you get into your early 80s, your health becomes more fragile.
His health, well, you can say what you want about Trump. His health seems to be in very good order.
Yeah, it does. But as you get older, your health gets a little bit more fragile.
No, I mean, that is a fact.
Yeah.
That is a fact.
So I don't think so. Yeah. But you don't know. But you don't know.
You know what? Maybe you're right. I mean, if there's one thing we know about Donald Trump, he's very good at giving way to other people.
Look, I just think that Biden is going to not be effective as a president. I think it's going to be not a good administration. People voted for him because it was anyone but Trump, ABT. We're going to see what he does, but I can't see that happening. What I think we are going to see is the EU in crisis mode, because you're going to get lots and lots of countries thinking to themselves, what is the point in staying in the EU? Now, for certain countries, they do very well out of it.
What about moral superiority? You can have a little flag on your Twitter profile.
Yeah, it's true. You can have a little flag on your Twitter profile. Yeah. You can scream at people that they're racist. But look, a lot of people, like the French, if Marine Le Pen wins, which she's got a good chance of, even though she's second in the polls, we always know that more inverted commas controversial candidates poll lower because people don't want to admit that they're going to vote from the shy Tory, whatever you may call it, syndrome.
Yeah.
So she's got a very good chance of winning. And if she does win it, then the EU is going to be in crisis. Plus, you're going to have a whole generation of politicians coming out, pointing the finger at the EU and saying quite rightly, when we were at our hour of need, where were you? Why is it Britain went through Brexit? It was meant to be a shambles, yet they've dealt with this brilliantly. And you lot, who are meant to be the people in charge, the experts, have failed us.
Now give me back my fish.
Yeah, give me, Anton, get the camera.
The gammon cam.
Now,
give me back my fish.
There you go. So there you go. It's a very good point. Anyway, we're sponsored by Pocket SIM, guys.
Yes.
Well, there we go. Yeah. We're sponsored by Pocket SIM. Now, they're nothing like the EU, all right? Okay, they're not racist, right? And they're very good when it comes to security and looking after you. I forgot what an SIEM is, but what it is, right? Don't laugh at me. I'm a
small to medium-sized enterprise, SMEs. So they help small companies protect their, ensure their security online. You can see we're not technical people.
Yeah.
But what they have been is very good to TRIGGERnometry. Very supportive. They provide an excellent service. They've kept the prices stable, and they're up north somewhere, aren't they?
Yeah, they're in Doncaster.
Yeah, they need the work.
Yeah, they need the work. You know, it's not nice up there. They're suffering, right? So they're a great company. They haven't raised their prices. They've got people, you know, if you look at what they're writing about their business, it's all great. Okay. It's all good stuff.
Well, no, look, the truth is every small and medium-sized company uses some form of online security.
Do we use?
No. But most small and medium-sized companies, yeah, of course we should.
Okay.
We should probably talk to Pocket SIM.
Yeah.
You know what? We should actually talk to Pocket SIM about ensuring our online security, especially given all the stuff that Anton looks up on that computer when we're working.
Yeah. Do you know what? A number of times I go, right, okay, Like I get Poom Poom round, so she's on the sofa and she's like, "I want to watch something on YouTube." I'm like, "All right, okay, right."
Yeah, Anton,
and then I
you
go
open
on-
up the YouTube, right?
Yeah.
I've had this experience with my wife as well. My
Yeah.
wife comes over, I'm like, "Oh, baby, let me just pull up something on YouTube." I open it up,
Yeah.
and staring at us, and I'm talking about Francis, myself, Poom Poom, and my missus, is a young, usually beach volleyball
Yeah.
player,
Yeah.
female,
Yeah.
and it's the hind part of her anatomy
Yeah.
that is staring me in the face, usually wearing some kind of fluorescent bikini bottoms.
Yeah.
And Anton, it seems, is a big fan of gymnastics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beach volleyball.
Beach volleyball. He had the under 20
Pole vaulting.
Pole vaulting.
Yeah,
He
big
had
fan.
the under 23 World Female Championships. Yeah. And it featured an extensive part of the Spanish team warming up.
Yeah. Look,
Actually, they didn't race. It was just the warm-ups. Why was that, Anton?
well, you know, Anton is a connoisseur.
Yeah.
He's really passionate about his sport, and he believes in supporting young talent.
Yeah, he does. He likes supporting young talent. And yeah, so I watched... Yes,
Like he did in Sicily.
Yeah.
Hence the telescope behind us.
Yeah, exactly. So he was... Do you remember what Poom Poom said?
What did she say?
That should be... Isn't it? That's illegal.
She said that should be illegal. And I went, I think it is.
Yeah.
What a fun trip that was. That was fucking brilliant.
June Hope 199, best Northern Ireland film, 71 with Jack O'Connell. June, you keep pulling it out of the bag. I've never even heard of this film, 71. Don't even know who Jack O'Connell is.
No.
Apart from he's the most Irish man I've ever heard of. The Biscuit Archipelago by Francis Solzhenitsyn Eatsome.
Very good double pun there. I'll fight you naked. Well done.
Next. Why doesn't FF read my super chats in my accent? Because I don't know what your accent is, William Herbert Hawks.
He's William Herbert Hawks. He's blatantly posh.
Yeah, isn't it? Of course he is. For the haters, Family Guy is great. Like South Park, it punches in all directions. The magic of real comedy to drop vital truth bombs through laughter. Never been my thing, but people liked it.
People are saying 71 is an amazing film, so we'll watch it. But we're watching Hunger as well. You got to watch a horror film every now and again, Francis.
No. Don Graham wasn't really masturbating. Irony. What are you looking forward to the most post-lockdown? Traveling for me, snowing mountains. I'm 40. It's shit, by the way. Thanks, Don. Thanks, mate. Really, we just really need to hear that, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Done that. It's shit.
It's shit. What are you looking forward to most post-lockdown?
Anton?
Go for it, Anton.
Pubs.
Pubs.
I'm looking forward to next Friday. We're going to be doing an intoxicated trigonometry live because that afternoon we're going out for a meal.
We are going out for a meal.
Yeah, we're going out for a meal at one of, not one of, but London's oldest Italian restaurant.
Yep.
Which we're big fans of.
Yep.
We're going there, having a lovely meal.
Yep.
At lunchtime.
Yep.
Coming back, smashed, right, and doing a live show, Trigonometry Raw.
Lovely.
That probably will be the end of the channel.
Yep.
So I will tune in on Friday to see it.
Yeah, so it'll be good. I'll be having.
I'm looking forward to that.
I'll be good. I'll be having some garlic bread, or maybe some dough balls with the garlic butter. That's authentic. They love a bit of that over there in Italy. Maybe
mate, if you order that, I don't. What are we going to do to him if he orders that, Anton?
What? That's authentic.
If you ask for a garlic bread
Well,
at the oldest Italian restaurant in London.
Yeah, I'm going to either that or dough balls with garlic butter because I like them.
If you ask for dough balls with garlic butter, I will literally.
And then,
I don't even know. I can't devise a punishment. I don't think the death penalty is appropriate.
And then after that, I'm going to have some carbonara.
You disgust.
Yeah.
We'll do the whole stream with Gammon Cam.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. Did I tell you once when I went to China? I went to China in 2006. Of course, I did. And came back. First thing I did. Ordered a Chinese sweet and sour pork, egg fried rice.
I bet that's true as well.
It is true.
I have no doubt that is actually true.
It's true. Got off the plane from Beijing, went home, ordered sweet and sour pork, egg fried rice. And do you know what? It tasted better than every single thing I ate in China.
Marmalade Dream says FF will ask for ketchup.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm looking forward to, actually, and this sounds really weird and creepy, but this is true, and a lot of you bigots in the chat will relate to this. I actually want to go out and be waited on. I want to go out to a restaurant and for someone to bring me something.
All right.
And I'll be nice to them and I'll give them a big tip, but I want someone to serve me. That's what I want.
There you go.
I miss it.
You patriarchal.
Yeah, absolutely. I've earned my money. I want to be served by someone younger than me who doesn't have as good job.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
We don't have jobs, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
We do this.
We do this. And that's what I want.
Yeah. Next. Ivanka should run. She has numerous assets. Thanks, John. Appreciate it, mate. You always ask your guests, this is from Nick Keith, what is the thing one thing we're not talking about? Have you considered exploring some of these issues on the stream?
What's the one thing we're not talking about? We've done it in... Hannah says, I can relate. Gabriel Archange says, not relatable at all. Pretty Waitress says, AKK. No, I don't discriminate. Saren Davis says, KK's authoritarianism is coming out again. Yeah, it's always there.
Lovely. Next.
It's always there. Anyway, so this. Well, we did it on Trigonometry Destroys Trigonometry. Do you think it's time we did another one?
Could be.
I mean, on Raw, we do often talk about a lot of the stuff that I think we feel most passionate about.
We do.
Don't we?
Yeah, we do.
So Trigonometry Destroys Trigonometry, doing that again might not make sense.
Yeah.
Then again, it's a different conversation.
There were sweet and sour pork balls. That was what they were.
You disgust me.
They were
absolutely disgusting, filthy.
Yeah, and chips.
You did not have chips at a Chinese restaurant.
Yeah, you do. So you do. You get some of the best. Anton will tell you this. You get some of the best chips in a Chinese restaurant. Isn't that right, Anton?
Tell me you haven't gone. No, he's shaking his head. Did you
what
disagree?
are you talking about? We've had this. This is but you little sellout. You sell out. You told me about Chinese chippies in Liverpool.
Yeah.
And they do great chips.
Yeah, that's not a restaurant. It's a chippy.
It's a chippy. It's a chippy run by Chinese people. It's different. Anyway, Bonnie Ripley with the 2 quid says, Gam Cam, surely. Yeah, but people won't know what it is, so we have to say the Gam and Cam.
Yeah, exactly, Bunny. Thank you. If I change my pronouns, can I be a bleeder too? Of course you can. That's what
don't need to change your pronouns. You can be a bleeder, whatever.
Yep, exactly. And they love that. Zank Frapper Weasel. Thanks, Frank Zappa Weasel.
For the 15 euros and the 6 dots.
Yeah, the ellipses. Go on, Le Pen, son. Get in. It's a woman. You've just misgendered her. You transphobic.
Of course it's transphobic. He's one of your lot.
It's disgusting.
Jose Hernandez.
Jose Hernandez. Adrian McKinty, Sean Duffy novels, top 80s Northern Ireland.
Didn't Sean Duffy used to play for Everton at the back? Great centre back. He was good at jumping.
Yeah.
Nothing else really.
Okay.
Couldn't pass.
No, but you know,
Good tackle.
Oggy, oi, 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 oggy, oggy, oi, oi, oi. Thank you, Graham.
Thank you, Graham. We haven't had any Oggy PayPals today, but he is no doubt watching on catch up. Good to see you, Paul. And Harris.
Are you going to Margot, top Italian restaurant? They escort you to the toilet and show you to the toilet roll.
Do they? I don't think I need that level of supervision.
I do.
No, we're going to Il Portico, the oldest Italian restaurant.
Yeah,
it's
lovely.
Going to be beautiful.
Best Northern Ireland film, good vibrations, undertones, etc. Undertones were a great band, Teenage Kicks. Best song about masturbation ever. Ask for an Hawaiian pizza. Yes, I forgot that. Dough balls, garlic bread, Hawaiian pizza. Boom.
I will destroy you.
No, you won't.
I will crush your soul.
My wife's parents are from China. I've eaten lots of real Chinese food. Westernized Chinese food is so much better. Please don't tell my wife. Ikiite, you know that's true. When I went there, they were eating things like chicken's feet, deep fried pig's intestines. I thought, no, mate, I'm not fucking having this. I want lemon chicken. Get it out. Get out the lemon chicken. Where is it? Why do I want it? Why do I want to eat the feet of a fucking Ken? I don't want that. I want lemon chicken. I want sweet and sour pork. I want salt and pepper prawns. That's what I want. And some egg fried rice and some prawn crackers.
Anton, let's change tack a little bit and let's talk about vaccines. There's an article in Spectator about vaccine success, and you've got to give some credit to the Spectator, which I'm loath to do
because they didn't. Yeah.
Anyway,
they never got back to my email.
But they do, Francis. They do print articles from different sides of the same debate. So yesterday, Matthew Paris, who is a person I like, but his article was full of straw men and wrong. Now they've published one by Kate Andrews. Which is making the opposite point. So Britain's vaccine success was supposed to lead to freedom. What happened, mate?
Before we start, Tell a little story about what happened when Kate came on, our lovely.
So, Anton, hide this for a second. So, prior to Anton,
Yeah.
who I must say, as you now know, is very good with the ladies.
Yeah.
He's very good with the
Yeah.
ladies. Too good, almost.
Yeah.
It's almost something we resent him for.
Yeah. I mean, we do resent him.
We do resent him for it.
Mm-hmm.
But to be fair, he's very good, particularly with the demographic, which is beyond our reach at this point.
Absolutely.
Thankfully.
Gay men.
Well, I've got a very good gay following, mate. They love me.
Yeah.
They love a bit of me. They know I'm a top.
Mm.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm a bear.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a bear. What am I?
You're a twink. Aging twink.
I'm not a twink.
You're an aging twink.
I opened myself up to that, didn't I?
Yeah.
Oh, could I be a twink? No, I don't think so.
Yeah. Right, go on.
Too muscular.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
No.
Anyway, Anton is very good with the ladies. But prior to Anton, we had another producer who, let's just say he was on the spectrum.
Yeah.
And this is not an insult. I'm not trying to be funny about it. He was on the spectrum. Yeah. And this made him a very good producer technically, but it also meant that in terms of social skills, he was somewhat below even me and Francis, which is saying quite a lot.
Yeah.
So when we had Kate Andrews on the show, she had a good conversation with us. We had a good conversation with her. And as she was walking out, our producer basically cornered her, our former producer, cornered her and spent about 20 minutes mansplaining to her why she's wrong about everything she's just said.
Well, what was he talking about? Some kind of
techno-communism or some shit.
Yeah. And then she ran away. And
she did literally run away.
She did literally run away. And that's the last we've ever seen of Kate.
And the producer.
Yeah. Great times.
Great times. That was happy days.
Yeah, lovely.
Anyway, let's get this article up and read what Kate has to say.
We should get Kate back.
Yeah, we should. There we go. Keep scrolling. In November, when cases were surging and a second lockdown was underway, Boris Johnson made a big promise. Things might look bleak, he said, but the scientific cavalry would arrive. It duly did with the vaccination program that became the envy of Europe. The mood of the country lifted. Today, Britain is still on course to become the first country in Europe to vaccinate its way out of the pandemic and lockdown. The economy can reopen in time for summer. Truly a great escape. Science achieved the seemingly impossible. Produced in record time, COVID vaccines are proving more effective than most predicted. In Britain, cases and deaths have fallen by 95% since the latest peak, a stunning descent. British immunity levels have surged. Roughly half of Brits are estimated to have antibodies to COVID, according to the ONS. In December, it was just 13%. Economists predicted the vaccine factor would give Britain a competitive edge in its economic bounce back. But in November, no one would have been so bold as to imagine that the cavalry would arrive in such numbers with such force and to such effect. So the science has delivered, but the politics has not.
With each success, the official return to normality seems to slip further away. As the country headed into its third lockdown, the Prime Minister promised that the most vulnerable would be vaccinated by mid-February and Britain would be open by Easter weekend. The first happened, the second did not. The roadmap to freedom extended lockdown in various forms until 21st of June, but the PM left the hardest decisions for later reviews. This week, we got the first teasers on the future of social distancing, international travel and ID cards. It appears we'll have to live with yet more muddling COVID rules and regulations for longer. There's no end in sight. Optimism is vanishing. Just a few months ago, yeah, he's with me. I've never had anything to begin with. Cabinet members were ready to translate vaccine success into a springtime push for national liberation. Matt Hancock told this magazine in January that he would personally cry freedom once the most vulnerable were jabbed. In the same month, Grant Shapps pledged to join the barricades to get our freedoms back once a similar target was hit. Nadim Zahawi, the vaccines minister, angrily dismissed talk of a dystopian world of vaccine passport as fantasy. That'd be discriminatory, he said.
It's strange how quickly things have moved from unthinkable to unstoppable. Now, all of a sudden, 21st of June has been transformed from the day we return to normal to the possible start of another new normal. Further crackdowns on international travel and domestic vaccine passports are all on the cards. A fundamental shift in the understanding of the role of the state and the rights of the individual. The liberty to go about daily life may now come with conditions, even when the virus is under control. Precisely who can participate in which daily activities may be regulated using new digital tools.
Back in December, the government told us correctly that vaccines work, but by February, a big panic had swept through the government. What if a new variant crept in and put us back to square one? Like all RNA viruses, SARS-CoV-2 mutates, and so far, none of its variants has been able to escape the vaccines. Some trials have raised questions, including early data showing the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine losing some effectiveness in preventing mild illness. This changed everything. Fear of a new variant broke the link between vaccination and freedom.
No entry without COVID certification. That's funny.
Yeah.
The gates.
This is a mindset of the new travel task force, which has created crafted a traffic light system for international travel, the system upon which so many of the UK economy depends. The B1351 variant, which originated in South Africa, has the committee spooked that Pfizer found an early trial of its vaccine to be 100% effective against the variant is welcome news to the committee, but it is not enough. It's not obvious there's any amount of data that will satisfy, says one task force insider, especially with so much focus on a hypothetical variant.
And so here's the money shot. We may end up this summer with more stringent travel rules than last year when there were no vaccines at all. Even fully vaccinated travelers would have to pay for multiple negative COVID tests over the course of their trip. Brits fly more than citizens of any other country because it's an island, or they did at least before the pandemic. Tourism generates 9% of the UK economy and supports 2 million jobs, or at least it did. What will the hit to our economy be? Strikingly, the Travel Task Force has done no economic assessment about the impact on the domestic economy on the consumer.
You might argue that it's cheaper than another lockdown, but even that case hasn't been made. Johan Lundgren, who runs EasyJet, has noted that in many instances, the tests could cost more than a flight.
They will cost more than a flight.
Meanwhile, it's impossible to measure the emotional toll this takes on those who are separated from loved ones. Official thinking has it that such costs pale in comparison to the price of securing freedom at home. This too represents a dramatic change in approach. Once government task force proposals will have to face robust scrutiny. What is a breakdown of the economic costs? When might this end? Is a travel quarantine system intended to last until everyone is vaccinated, or perhaps long after?
A new official mindset is emerging that believes vaccines simply aren't enough. The cavalry can't succeed on its own. We now get weekly updates from the Prime Minister and his officials, which come dangerously close to playing down the jabs. The vaccines aren't 100% effective, we're told repeatedly, an objectively true statement which is being given undue emphasis. No one ever expected a foolproof vaccine, and the jabs we're using currently are thought to be nearly 100% effective in preventing serious illness or death. Yet just last week, Johnson doubled down on the caution, insisting that 2 fully vaccinated people mustn't meet inside because vaccines are not giving 100% protection. Such language may be designed to ensure continued compliance with the COVID rules, but it's a short-sighted tactic since it saps confidence in the vaccine itself. It also has implications for the economic recovery, which needs people to have faith in the jab, to feel protected, and, as Rishi Sunak put it, to live without fear.
Okay, I think we've done enough here.
Yeah.
But
very good article from Kate.
Yeah.
Well done, Kate.
Yeah, it's a brilliant article, and it's also very, very true, where you're looking at it and going, when are we going to return to normal? And it just seems that we were told that if we had the vaccines, we'd be returning to normal. But now we've got the threat of the mystical strain, which renders the vaccines pointless. And so we can never return to normal.
Absolutely fucking absurd, if you ask me. Anyway, Anton, let's catch up on any final super chats. We've got one more thing to show you, which we look forward to showing you. Leo J with the $5 says, would you ever get someone on who studies the effects of pornography consumption?
I do that, Leo J. Thank you very much.
Well, I mean, Anton prefers to stay behind the camera.
Yep. Don't you?
Yeah.
Noted.
Yeah. So it's actually something that we've thought about in the past, and that will probably happen at some point.
Lovely. Next.
Thanks, Leo J.
How do you think hookers have survived the pandemic due to social distancing, and will they, once we open up, excuse the pun, be given a discount? Good to see you using official language and terminology there, mate. Well done, Lionel.
Creepy question, but thanks for the $5. Lionel, think of us as your hookers. You give us money for pleasure.
and we leave you feeling cheated and empty. Brendan O'Leary, only racists won't eat chicken feet. Exactly, that's why I didn't eat them.
I had chicken feet.
I didn't. Did you? What did
Yeah,
you
I
think?
went to Hong Kong. My mate, my Hong Kongese friend, took me to an authentic Hong Kongese restaurant. We had like pig innards and trotters and stuff like that.
Was it good?
Yeah.
Disgusting. Okay, but in that case, who are Flopsy and Mopsy?
Flopsy and Mopsy is a generic term,
Mhm.
which is used on this show to cover all of the romantic interests in Anton's life of the female persuasion.
Yeah,
There's also another slice of that conversation,
Yeah.
which we won't get into now.
yeah. Animals.
You fucking Kim. Moles, he says. Anton says moles. Anyway, Flopsy and Mopsy are just a reflection of the fact that Anton has very particular tastes, which seem to consist of young middle-class women who have names like Bella and Poppy and Lulu and whatever.
Yeah,
So we just generically refer them to Flopsy and Mopsy.
yeah, exactly. Next. KK, you have a wife to wait on you. You seem like the type to expect dinner on the table.
I am the type to expect dinner on the table. Unfortunately, my wife is not the type to provide it. So there we go. I don't have my wife to wait. And I like to wait on my wife, actually. I mean, you won't believe it, but I'm actually an absolute gentleman.
Anton teaches birds how to pole vault. What he does on YouTube is lesson prep. There you go.
You're really stroking his ego there, Ali,
Yeah.
which is what he likes.
A BLM founder, and this is from from Blackdown. A BLM founder and trained Marxist Patrice Cullors has just bought a 1.4 million gaff in Beverly Hills. What about them effing grifters? We have already spoken about this, Blackdown.
We covered the story very early. And by the way, our likes have dropped off again.
Really?
Yeah, we were on 1,000 and they've been dropped back to 800.
Good. Guys, smash that like button, please.
No, don't smash it. What's the point? Don't bother smashing anything. Smash YouTube.
Smash, yeah, because that's going to work.
Yeah.
Smash the like button.
They're still going down, by the way, so that's great. Yeah, they are. Yeah. We were on 884. Now we're on 8. Now, oh, sorry, apologies. We've gone from 884. So we went from 1,000 to 884 to 819, and currently we're on 760.
Cakeway is neither twink nor bear.
751.
Okay.
So
Next.
we're going down, not up. There we go.
Yeah.
KK is neither twink nor bear. He's simply gorgeous. I agree, Michael. I've got a big gay following, mate. I told you.
Next.
Gays love it.
Viruses always evolve into variants, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
FF, in a country famous for its food, interesting. The menu at McDonald's is slightly different here. What? You can get mashed potatoes with gravy.
What? Is this a northern? We're down to 694 likes now.
Really? What's going on?
I don't know.
Is there some kind of bug with YouTube?
No. It always happens right towards the end of the stream. So is it maybe when you stream for more than an hour and 20 minutes?
I don't know.
How does that happen?
I don't know.
Well, look, we're definitely not being censored. We can tell you that much. There's definitely no shenanigans going on. Every time the likes just drop.
Yeah.
We are now down to 645.
What's going on?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyway.
640.
Cool.
It's just the countdown goes on.
Likes are decelerating. Thank you, Ellie Munoz.
Yeah.
Likes in freefall. Thanks, Brendan O'Leary. Next. Madam Lader. To be ethical meat eaters, you have to eat every part of the animal. Chicken's feet rule. Breasts are overrated.
True.
Incorrect. Breasts are brilliant. Next. Okay. So,
guys, thank you for hanging out with us. As you can see, there is definitely no censorship or any sort of online interference with heterodox channels like ours. So, you know, just carry on, pretend like nothing happened. Make sure you don't have any wrong opinions, because otherwise your content might not be upvoted, even though people actually upvoted it. So just, yeah, crack on, you know, have a good time. And remember, all the big tech platforms are completely neutral. There's no bias whatsoever.
Guys, thank you so much. And on that note, please follow us on all social media platforms. Francis Foster, Francis J. Foster, Konstantin Kisin at TriggerPod.
Don't end it just yet, Anton.
On Twitter, Instagram, and all the rest of them.
And remember to check out our brilliant interview tomorrow at 7 p.m. UK time with the wonderful and lovely Mercy Maroki. who's coming on to talk about the government race and racial disparities report. It's a brilliant interview. You're going to love it. Check it out, 7 p.m. UK time. And we'll see you on Tuesday with another Trigonometry Raw. And we'll bang out with this.
Yeah.
Well, it's quite nostalgic because it's very nearly 40 years since the first time I came to Washington. In fact, I came with the Queen before she'd succeeded in President Truman's day. So it just makes you realize how old I am. And there was a splendid, because just at that time, if you remember, there's been a general election at home, and Winston Churchill his party had just got back in again. And while we were here in Washington, some splendid, rather elderly lady, who I don't think quite knew what was going on, she greeted the Queen by saying, "I'm so pleased your father's been re-elected." Whereupon somebody standing next to her got really rather embarrassed, knew much better about it. He said, "No, no, dear, that was Winston Churchill." So she turned to me, "Oh, I'm so pleased to meet you." So I don't think anybody tried to explain that one away. And then you said that I was present at the Japanese surrender in Tokyo. That was splendid at the time, but it got a little embarrassing later on because we paid a state visit to Japan several years later. And of course, a lot of people there said, "Your first visit to Japan?" And I said, "Yes."